are you?
I'm great. I'm great. It's definitely a beautiful Tuesday morning here in Manila. Thank you so
Oh,
much for gracing this
nice.
interview.
Thank you. Good morning. Here in Puerto Rico, it's 9 p.m. So
Wow.
it's not, but
Yeah.
I'm
Wow.
excited to be here. Thank you for your invitation.
No, seriously, but it should be it should be me who should be thanking you
Aw,
profusely for allowing me for saying yes to this interview. So I'm so grateful for this opportunity.
totally. I was just thinking about how this is literally my first English interview ever since I was crowned here in Puerto Rico.
Oh,
So it's a big opportunity for my international fans that they can get to know me a little better. So thank you for this.
yes. And treat this like as like a rehearsal or a practice for you come Miss Universe next month.
Yes, only 2 weeks left.
Yes, can you believe
So
it? Just only less than 3 weeks before you guys all start arriving for El Salvador.
totally. That's no time left.
So how are you
Literally.
feeling right now?
I'm feeling super happy, super excited. I literally just came back from my first fitting for my national costume, and I am so happy with that. I can't wait for you guys to see what the national costume is about. And now that I'm talking about that, this next Thursday, we will have like an official presentation of my national costume in a national TV channel here in Puerto Rico. So a lot of people, are waiting for that moment. I know we're all excited, so I can't wait.
Yes, it's gonna be taking place this coming Friday, right? Oh, Friday here in
Please,
Manila, Thursday.
oh yeah, maybe, yeah, definitely. It'll be, um, so I know it's Thursday in Puerto Rico,
Uh-uh.
Thursday in the morning. So
So, as a
we will see.
preview to all your fans and supporters for the big reveal on Thursday night, I want to ask you,
Yeah.
how collaborative were you for this endeavor?
So I must say that before I was crowned, the Miss Universe Puerto Rico organization already had this idea and a collaboration with sponsors here in Puerto Rico. So the idea was already there, but then when I came and I was like, oh my God, I love the idea. And it's when the idea comes out, you'll see why. It's something so close to my heart, and it's actually I can't give that much detail, but the thing is that the theme of the national costume is something that I kind of like. And sometimes in past pageants, I've talked about it before. I've spoken about this theme, so it's probably exciting for everyone as well.
So, does it have to do with a ball? Since you love volleyball, does it have to
Those are
do...
good guesses. Those are good guesses. But no, I want you guys to be surprised this
Fair enough.
this
Fair,
Thursday. Yeah.
fair enough. So, apart from your, national costume reveal this coming Thursday, which aspect or which areas of the competition are you also focusing right now?
I'm focusing on different areas. I'm doing a lot of fittings, like I just said, on different important gowns, like the preliminary gown, the final night gown. Besides that, I'm taking a lot of makeup and hair classes to make sure, I can handle any situation over there in El Salvador. And last but not least, I've been working really hard to step up my game when it comes to answering questions, when it comes to interviews. And I am most excited about that in particular because I know a lot of people, tell me, no, you're really great at answering questions. Like that is one of your biggest qualities or best qualities. But I always say that there is so much space for us to grow and to develop. And for me to focus on that and my team, the Miss Universe Puerto Rico team has helped a lot. So I'm excited for you guys to, you know, just see how much I've grown and evolved in these past months.
I love how you are not resting on your laurels and still trying your best to improve, to showcase something different from the upcoming for the upcoming competition.
Yes, I think. Sorry, you said that. I didn't hear you well. I
Oh,
think I didn't.
I said I love that you are not resting on your laurels
Yeah,
and yeah, and choosing to still improve for the
totally,
upcoming
totally.
competition.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer that there is always there is always space, sorry, to grow and to develop. And I don't like staying on my comfort zone. I like, you know, getting out of my comfort zone, I love receiving feedback and asking always, what do you think I can, you know, be better at, etc. And I think, you know, my background in volleyball and sports as an athlete helps me with that. You know, I'm constantly wanting to be better, constantly wanting to give my best. So with that energy, I think I'll do an amazing job in at the Miss Universe.
So yeah, the discipline, yeah. So I get that. So basing from what you said, so are we expecting a completely different Carla Guilfu from your previous foray in pageantry for this upcoming competition?
I'm the same Carla. My essence is still here. What makes me unique, you know, my personality. I think that's what definitely helps me to, um, I don't know, like shine in a room and caught the attention of people. But I do believe that I am way more confident this time around. I am way more prepared. Am I'm aware and super focused on what I am going for. I think this is my time. You know, it's my time to shine. I feel like
Yeah.
all of these past years, I've been literally or indirectamente indirectly, I have been preparing myself for this moment. You know, not necessarily knowing it, but yeah, all the steps that I've made, all the decisions that I've made have made me come here, and I can't wait to show my best over there.
Do you think does experience help or serve you as an advantage here in the upcoming competition?
I think it's I definitely believe that because of my past experiences, I it's easier for me to visualize what I will be expecting over there in El Salvador. You know, this in terms of what the competition. It's like, you know, waking up early every morning, doing your makeup, you know, with the best energy, and you know, going and every day and trying to accomplish any challenges that the Miss Universe organization might throw our way. So I think I'm more prepared in that way. I don't think it's an advantage necessarily because all of the women are, I know that they're all so prepared. They all have something unique that can make them shine, but definitely my past experiences give me that boost of confidence to just feel ready to, I don't know,
Yeah.
conquer any challenges that I might find my way.
And you are definitely ready. Wait, before I go on with our interview, can I just give a huge shout out to Stefania Torres,
To
who's
who?
watching us right now. Estefania Torres, your predecessor.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
Estefanía.
yeah, I saw her leave a comment here. So wait, I'm scrolling up. Um,
Uh,
yeah. Yeah, so to everyone who's watching us right now, there are 308 viewers who are watching
yes,
us right now. Thank you so much. They are pouring in a lot of love and support for
yes.
you
Thank you guys for
right now.
tuning
It's
in.
your time. What Reyna's Despor is saying. We love you, Carla. Latin
Uh,
223 is saying. Hermosa Nuestra Reina. Okay, let's engage some of
I
them before we
see
proceed.
you reading Spanish. I love
Considering I'm not really fluent, maybe it's just that the influence because we were colonized. Our country was colonized by the
that.
Spaniards for
Oh,
300 for more than 333 yeast. So yeah, so
wow.
probably there's
Yeah.
the there's the
That's
some sort of an
interesting. That's, past histories that both Philippines and Puerto Rico share, how
yeah.
they,
So when you get all these um positive messages on social media from your fans and supporters, how do you feel right now?
what I feel, or what
Yes.
I, oh my God, I feel truly honored to just receive all of this support and amazing comments from everyone, not just in Puerto Rico, but from around the world. I, it's truly a humbling experience that people who don't even know me, that they just know me through social media, they can see so much potential in me. They can see how I could be the next Miss Universe. For me, that means a lot. So I just thank them from the bottom of my heart, and I feel like they fill me with the energy that I need to give my best in every step of the way. Definitely.
That's true. That's true. So how do you feel at the same time that these set of your fans and supporters are also pegging you
They're
as a front runner for the upcoming competition? Do you feel any nervousness or pressure to do well?
I'm definitely aware that there are a lot of expectancies of what Karla or Miss Puerto Rico would be doing there in El Salvador. But I just don't let that get to my head, because if I do, I won't be able to concentrate and focus on what I should be doing, the work that I should put, or the work that I should put in. I just, receive it with gratitude. I thank God, I thank the universe, I thank them for really recognizing the potential that I have, and use that as fuel for me to really focus on what I have to work. And then when I get there, to really just give my best and to make them proud, because at the end of the day, I kind of feel like my fans are my family, and I truly and honestly want them to feel proud with the work that I do there in El Salvador.
At this point in time, knowing that, considering your status as a pageant veteran, do you think does it get any easier or harder at this point?
Ooh, that's a really tricky question. I think it gets easier in terms that I know what I am expecting, I know where I'm going, and I am kind of like used to this competition environment, and I feel comfortable with that. I remember these past weeks I went to Miami. There was
Yeah.
a Smile Train event, and I remember when I was there, we were dining, and I was with the rest of the delegates that were there. And I remember my national director. She asked me, "How are you feeling?" And I was like, "There's a Spanish saying that it says como un pez en el agua, like a fish in a river, saying like I feel totally comfortable, where I am and and what with what I am doing. It's like it comes natural to me, now that I've had all these experiences, and when I am in a competition environment, it just feels like home. It feels like, wow, I was born to do this. So in that way, or in that sense, it kind of like gets easier. But of course, with your experience or with my past experience comes a big responsibility, a lot of expectancies, a lot of maybe pressure. And you know, I have to be really intelligent on how I manage that, and to really not, really not let that get in my way, for me to be, present in the present moment, and just, deliver my best
So
performance.
between what you are feeling right now, no, and during the time that you were still about to compete for your first ever national pageant or your first ever international pageant, which is more, um, which is harder, which is really, agitating you more, before or now, that what you are
Harder?
feeling right
You
now?
mean like harder?
Yeah, because yeah, like in terms of what you are feeling right now? You said easier, but then at the same time you said at the same time it's harder because of the
Yeah.
expectations. So
Yes.
compare that harder moment right now to the time that you were about to compete for your first ever international crown. Which
Mm.
was more agitating? Which were you feeling more nervous?
I think specifically nervousness. I think I definitely felt it most on when I was, for example, literally on my first international pageant that was actually in El Salvador. I don't know if you knew that.
Miss Teen?
Yes, Miss Teen Mundial. It was in El Salvador, and then
Oh,
I know it's so, I don't know, interesting.
coming in full circle, huh?
Yes, like started there, going to end it there. My pageantry journey. So it's really special for me. Um, so yeah, going back to how I felt at that moment, I definitely think that was the most nervous that I felt because it was the first time being in an international platform. A lot of people from around the globe were watching me, and I was like, "Oh my God, how will I
Yeah.
perform, etc." Now the nervousness is it's not necessarily nervousness. It's that like whoa, like this is the big responsibility. Now that I am at the Miss Universe, for me, Miss Universe is like the Olympics of pageantry. So it's like the most important project that I have ever, worked on, in my whole life. So I just feel the responsibility to truly, put in the work to give my best. And I am more kind of like serious now. I'm more focused. I'm more determined to really give my best. And I think that's where the difference really radicates. So for me, the nervousness now comes right before I go on stage, not not necessarily weeks before. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yes. Yes. So what lessons have you learned from your previous pageant that you are now bringing here in Miss Universe?
Wow, I've learned the importance of taking, yeah, of recognizing that pageants are like sports. I think, in my case, I've been an athlete all my life. And when I started pageantry, I never thought of it as like a sport. But then throughout the experiences I had, I realized that it is. You have to be disciplined, you have to be organized, you have to really be responsible with everything that this journey implies. And I think it's truly that to really um, take it with the seriousness that it requires for you to give, be the best version of yourself and show that to the whole universe, to the world. Yeah, I definitely believe it's that.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, because I ask these questions to you because your stance, your confidence level, it's just very different compared from the time. Because I remember you from your previous pageant. Your height is you're so tall, it's so imposing. The stance you're bearing, where oh my gosh, her shoulder blades, like oh, wow, like I get it why she's there. And now you're going for the momentum, and now you're here in Miss Universe. Yeah, so that
Totally. And something that I want to add on that is that something that I've also learned is that pageantry, maybe at the beginning, I thought it was about how you looked, about your physical appearance, on, which girl had the best walk, the best performance, etc. But then I realized, like, you genuinely need to be a community leader, in this case, a transformational leader. Like, you have to be um, really, yeah, really comprometida, really, how do you say that? It's like, it's not compromise. I don't know, take with seriousness the fact that you have a social cause and not take it um, as
Perfect.
something that you will just do it if you have a crown or not.
Yes, yes, I get
And
what you mean. Yeah,
yeah,
because I've been reading your bio, and you said, there's this one line that intrigued me that says, since you're adolescent,
committed.
since you're
They said the word. Thank you guys. Committed. There you
dedicated,
go.
committed, yes, yes,
Yes.
okay. Thank you for
Committed. Like you have to be really committed to your social cause, because for me that is the definition of a true queen. With or without a crown, you have to be committed to impact the people around you, your community, etc.
so you're telling me as early as now that win or lose come Miss Universe, you will still be active with your social causes.
Totally, totally. I this year I was able to formalize my social cause to a nonprofit organization. So I definitely plan to continue working in that and to expand my reach and the impact that I'm already doing, but hopefully for the rest of Puerto Rico, the whole Puerto Rico, because I am initially concentrating in the southeast part. But yeah, the labor that I'm doing with the educational projects and to impact the mental health of Puerto Ricans is something that I truly, I feel like it's my passion, it's my purpose in life.
Are you talking about your advocacy project, which is called Let's Begin to Heal?
Yes, yes, it's
Yeah.
totally, yeah, it's about that. It's
How
about
did how were you able to find that or organize that advocacy?
this advocacy started. I mean, my advocacy with, with impacting the mental health of Puerto Ricans started ever since I, started studying psychology back in 2016. Um, but the Comencemos a Sanar, Let's Begin to Heal project started at 2021. And it is about impacting the mental health of Puerto Ricans through social or through educational projects, the community service, and promoting social justice. Because I truly believe that if mental health is affected or influenced by multifactorial uh, or different factors that influence mental health, and definitely education is one that I focus on. For example, in emotional intelligence, yoga as self-care. We have taken it to different schools and communities in Puerto Rico. So I focus on that. And now this year, I started focusing more on the prevention of suicidal behavior, because
How
it's
did you how
really tied to my own story. Yes.
Oh, all right. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's a very, relevant topic
Yeah.
nowadays. So, how were you able to develop your interest in mental health? Because I read in your bio, you said that as early as you were a teenager or an adolescent, you already started taking interest in how behavior of other people work. Like, wow, at such a young age, when normally young kids would think about just toys, playing around, sports, but you were thinking something more serious. So how did it all begin for you?
It all started because I had I was going through difficulties and struggles with my own mental health. And I remember that people from my family were going through struggles as well. My friends, they were struggling as well with their mental health. And I kind of like asked myself, why is no one talking about this? And I with that curiosity, I started looking for information. I even started looking for help, a psychotherapist. I went to psychotherapy to work with my own mental health and to work with my own suicidal thoughts that I was experiencing at that moment. And then I empowered myself with different practices and tools that helped me um, and discovered the power that lies within me. And I said, like, wow, I was able to do this. I want everyone else to be able to do the same. And that's why I decided to study psychology, and then, my own nonprofit, Let's Begin to Heal, as well as this last year, I started working as a crisis manager at the National Suicide Hotline. So that was a big thing for me as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I also have friends, sometimes, since I'm also very active here on social media, sometimes I also think maybe I'm also, I already have the symptoms of someone who might be leading into depression, especially if, let's say I see comments on because, I'm a vlogger and I also do, I'm very heavy and very active as a social media user. And when I see, things don't go my way through the comments of other people on my comment section, I easily get affected. I sometimes doubt myself. So with all your experiences, how were you able to overcome those?
I was able to, you mean the negative, I didn't hear you well, the negative comments or the experience that I had with
Yeah, how were you
my
able
own?
to overcome the negative, that very dark moment in your life
Oh.
where
Yeah, it was a long journey. It was a long journey. I started off by looking for help with psychotherapists, and therapy helped me a lot. Talking with a professional that definitely knew which tools and practices I had to, put in practice for me to get to know myself, get to the root of what I was feeling, and getting comfortable to feel the emotions that I was feeling at that moment. Then when the years went by, I moved out of my family's home. I started living by my own. And in that process, by being on my own and sitting with myself and literally just connecting and tapping in with my own emotions and my internal world, asking, the difficult questions. And the healing process just started right there. And in healing, when I say healing process, I mean healing my inner child and
yeah,
remembering that my inner child had a lot of needs that, you know, they needed to be met. And as a conscious adult, I started doing that, practices such as visualization, journaling, and that all helped me, heal my inner
yeah.
child for me to be the woman that I am today.
Is that what you meant when you said in your Miss Universe bio that you are most proud of transforming wounds into action in life? Were you referring to your previous experience with mental health or depression?
Totally. I totally mean that when I say transforming wounds into action, because all that I have shared already, my suicidal behavior, my struggles with my mental health, years went by, and all I wanted is that everyone around me could do the same, could heal and could empower themselves with different tools and practices. And that is why I started studying psychology. So that is one big action, studying psychology. Then, my nonprofit organization, being a crisis manager at the National Suicide Hotline. And in general terms, in my day-to-day life, I always try to be that ear or that shoulder that someone needs, or that safe space that someone needs to express themselves about what they're feeling. And I think that is how the most complete I feel is when I do that. When I am there for someone, is when
Yes.
I definitely feel most complete.
Based on your research, why do you think a lot of young kids or young people or the youth in general are very weak in handling themselves when dealing with problems that they succumb or plunge into depression?
I think it all comes down because we don't have a society or leaders that promote the importance of educating on, for example, emotional intelligence. You know, from a young age, I think it's really important that from a young age, kids are taught about what emotions are, how do we recognize them, how do we name them, how do we canalize and manage them, for them to develop as healthy adults um, that they can manage their own emotions and confront life
Yes.
uh, successfully. So I think it all comes down to that. We don't have an integral education in our society that teaches us the importance of managing our emotions and understanding our internal world and how mental health is as important as physical health.
Yes, I agree with that. So I agree with that. So you're very knowledgeable on this topic. So can you please educate me more about it? So what are the triggers why people succumb into depression? Is it because of comparison of how they compare their lives to other people, especially at the advent of social media, or even without social media? How can you what can you advise people to overcome this problem, to prevent themselves from developing suicidal thoughts and other problems that might arise?
So first off, we need to understand that mental health disorders can come by different factors, or they can be, triggered by different factors. And I say this because there can be biological or organic factors such as, chemical imbalances in our brains that, people can develop these mental health disorders. So it's not a one factor thing that I can just say, oh, it's because of this that people develop depression. So it could be that, it could be economic reasons, social, political, or interpersonal relationships that are not healthy or that are toxic that can influence in the in the mental health of the person. So starting by starting by saying that, we need to first recognize what are the triggers, because the triggers are different for everyone. Maybe what you're saying, the factor of social media could be a really big one for teenagers or for children. And as adults or as parents, I encourage parents to be really aware of what their child or what their children are consuming in social media. And besides that, to really recognize how professional help can be successful. And I know not everyone has the access to professional help. So for me, it's also understanding that mental health is influenced by different factors. You need to take care of what you eat, of who you spend your time with, um, what you how you manage your emotions. If you know that you're not in your best moments, and put aside things for you to, compose yourself and then start over again. It's different things that can influence. It's not a one recipe for all,
Yes,
So
yes.
I have to be responsible for that. Uh, but yeah, I just invite people to really just channel with their own emotions and understand their own situation, to really understand what is triggering them and then tackle those triggers specifically.
I love what you said. So from your end, um how do you implement those changes that will make a transformative change, in implementing your cause to our society?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
How
Uh,
will you implement how will you implement transformative changes
mm,
about
yes,
your advocacy about mental
yeah,
health to society, given what you know now about
totally.
mental health?
So I am working. I mean, right now it's in a pause because of the Miss Universe uh, event that is coming up. But right now in Puerto Rico, I am working in a project, which the educational projects that I'm already doing, I'm planning to expanding them through the rest of the island with collaborators, um, using the Miss Universe Puerto Rico platform. So every delegate, for example, that come the next year as representatives of their own municipalities, we are working in a project that we can invite them all to become collaborators of my own social cause and spread the message of the importance of breaking the stigma of mental
Yeah.
health, understanding that it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to to not be okay. And I think my biggest message. It's okay to feel down. It's okay to feel sad, to feel angry, and to normalize those emotions and to let, youngsters in Puerto Rico, the young people, that there is help available. And besides that, giving them tools and practices. When I teach in schools, I always talk about them of the power of consciously breathing, for example. That's one big thing for me as a yoga instructor. That's something that I always teach to students, for them to use that as a way to canalize whatever they are feeling. So I'm working with that project, and I am so excited that we can start it already. So yeah, I will be focusing on that. For me, education is the biggest way that I can, impact people around Puerto Rico and hopefully the world,
Yeah.
or the universe
Yeah.
rather,
Yeah.
one day.
So why do you think, there is such a negative stigma about mental health up until now? Why, people still consider it as a taboo topic?
I think it's because historically, people have associate, vulnerability and mental health disorders with, um, yeah, with you being, less
Yes.
strong, with you
Yeah.
being, and I
Yeah.
think it all comes down to that. It's seen as negative. It's seen as, oh, you're not capable of doing anything. And then, well, no one is going to speak about, because if they speak about it, then they're afraid that they should, will be put to the side in society, and they will not be considerate. They won't be considered for, I don't know, big projects or big events, etc. So I think it all comes down to that.
Because, I asked that question because here in the Philippines, there is still a negative stigma when you talk about mental health, depression, and sometimes myself, I will take myself as an example. Sometimes, I would really like to consult a psychologist, but I don't know where to talk to. I don't know, I even have to ask friends to look one for me because, being vocal about seeking help from a psychologist does not bode well for everyone's image about you. They think, okay, she's a psycho. She's like, he's a psycho. Adam is a psycho. Adam is probably, experiencing some, major, major problem, and for him to resort to seeking psychologist's help means his problem is really, really serious and bordering mental. Yeah, that's the thing. That the attachment that, he could be going crazy or lunatic or something like that. So, it's such a hard battle, when it comes to
Is
dealing with that.
It is, Adam, and that I remember yesterday I had another interview, and I remember the interviewer asked me, why do I always keep talking about, or people sometimes say, why do I always keep talking about the importance of mental health and the importance of, breaking the stigma, etc. And I am, part of this. I always try to be really open when I talk about mental health with my own,
Yeah.
mental health. That's why I share my own experiences, that I had back in the day. And for me, also one big thing that I always share is that part of my preparation to go to Miss Universe or to go to any other pageant that I've been before is to go to therapy. And some people say, like, really? Are you really going to therapy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. The Miss Universe Puerto Rico people is going to therapy or goes to therapy. And I say that out loud and proud because I want people to really just say, hey, you know what? Miss Universe Puerto Rico goes to therapy and she goes and look for help. I can do that as well. And that is why I share it as open as possible and show my vulnerability, because when we do that, I think that's how we genuinely inspire others to, you know, you know,
Accept our weaknesses.
yeah, to start breaking that idea that going to therapy or looking for help is for, the less strong. And I'm more than happy to be the one, just being in front of the camera and saying, people, it's okay. It's okay to look for help. And it's okay to not be okay as well.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for sharing all your experiences. As we talk about, and as we relate your advocacy to what you have been doing, you've completely healed yourself, from your suicidal thoughts before. Yet you are joining an industry where, your mental health, could suffer again. Like, joining a pageant like Miss Universe Puerto Rico,
I
Miss Universe. So, how are you, like, don't you think, your problems might recur again just because, let's face it, especially, at the advent of social media, your fans, your critics, your bashers can be so, could nitpick everything that what you have been doing. So I wonder, how have you been coping by so far?
I have been, you know, of course, when you come into this industries, into this industry, the problems are different. The struggles are different. In terms when you compare it to the struggles that I went through growing up or when I was adolescent. So right now, what I have, or the biggest challenge that I face, is what you just said. The comments from people, the expectancies from people, all the responsibilities that I have, the small rest that I get to have, during my preparation. And I just, you know, breathe in, breathe out, take it, with so much love, because at the end of the day, this was my dream. This is the dream that I've always had, to be Miss Universe Puerto Rico and to be on the biggest platform on pageantry around the world. And, those small moments when I get a little frustrated or sad or kind of like, oh my God, what am I doing? I just really remember my purpose. Why am I here? And I just what confirms that is that there are moments, small moments where when people come to me and say, oh my God, thank you so much for talking about this topic. Thank you so much about talking about mental health and your vulnerabilities and your past experiences, because I'm going through that as well. And I felt so alone. And when I hear those stuff, it just reminds me that I am here for a bigger reason. And, those small comments or negative comments, I just let them go. I don't let them get to me. I am stronger than that. And I am so aware and confident with my purpose being in here in the Miss Universe platform.
Wow. Wow. I love how you have developed a strong mental fortitude when it comes to dealing with your candidacy here in Miss Universe. So even if let's say you upload a photo and then we comment like, oh, I don't like her styling. Oh, like, she should speak more in she's more comfortable speaking in Spanish than English. If you see those comments like that,
I
it
just,
won't affect you.
you know what? I mean, I'm human. I can't lie. I'm human. There are still moments like when I see a negative comment, I'm like, oh my God, what did I do, or what did but at the end of the day, I come back to myself and say, girl, you know how much you have come. Like, I've come such a long way. I remember one time in my life, or yeah, one time in my life where I had a really low self-esteem. I was not confident with myself. I was not able to stand in a big stage and speak to tons of people. So, when I see those comments, I may get a little, sad, but then I quickly remind myself all that I've grown and all that I've evolved throughout the years and the woman that I've become. So I truly, I have to pat myself in the back, and I can't be that harsh with myself.
Wow. 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 May your tribe increase, Carla. May your tribe increase. No, as we went down this interview, I've got a couple questions left. I'm just so happy for you. I'm just so happy for you. Win or lose. I'm really excited to, I'm win or lose. You've been, I can really feel your passion, your sincerity. Your advocacy is not just, something that you just did for the sake of joining a pageant, but you are really breathing it. And it really shows with the way how you have grown and improved over the years. Yeah.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you for
So what
that.
so what are you looking so we're nearing the end of this interview. So let me just ask you something like, what are you looking forward? We just, only a few weeks left and it's competition mode for you. Like, what are you looking forward the most when you set foot there in El Salvador?
Ooh, I can't wait for just all the activities that I will be doing or experiencing with the rest of the girls. I can't wait to meet all of them. For me, that is one of the most exciting parts, to meet the Miss Universe organization, the staff, the girls, to, I don't know, exchange our cultures, our language, our traditions. For me, one of the favorite parts is when we come together and we sit to have a dinner or to have breakfast, and then we're like, oh, and how do you call this in your country, or how do you say this in your country? It's that experience. For me, it's a really good one. I enjoy it so much, and I can't wait for that. As well as the rest of the competition, rehearsals, the dancing part, the performing part, and of course the big moments such as the interview, preliminary. I'm excited for everything, Adam. I can't wait. I can't wait to go to El Salvador. I truly can.
Do you think those 2 weeks will go by so fast and without
Totally.
already the coronation night?
Totally. I think they will fly. It's just, a blink of an eye. I've experienced that before, so I want to truly enjoy every single day. I want to try and meet as much as I can, the delegates and everyone from the Miss Universe organization. Because at the end of the day, like I always say, it's only one girl who gets to be crowned that night. And I think it's, we have to have that intention of truly enjoying all the process, not just focusing on one thing, but trying to absorb everything from day one.
Is El Salvador a very nice country to visit? I've never been there before,
You've
and
never
I'm
been there?
yeah,
It's amazing. It's
yeah,
amazing.
really.
Yeah, I love the food. I can't wait to try again pupusas. I'm really excited for that. Pupusa is like a traditional dish from El Salvador, and it's made from yeah,
Is it a
it's
pancake?
like
Uh,
it's similar to that, and it's also similar to arepas. I don't know if you have heard of that.
no.
So
But I've
basically,
interviewed.
you feel, yeah, it kind of looks like a pancake, but you feel it with whatever you want. In my case, I am vegan, so I'm excited to just feel it with a lot of veggies and beans, etc. So I'm excited for that, and of course, like I said, this is the second time that I am going, and a lot of people from El Salvador are excited that I am coming back. So I'm excited to, hug them and meeting them again. That would be that will be really special.
Because I asked those questions because I'm really considering of going there to finally to meet all of you, especially you whom I have followed for quite some time here in the pageant
Oh,
scene. So yeah, it will be amazing to finally see you in person.
that would be so amazing. I love meeting all of you guys. And especially, that you come from the other side of the
I know.
world. For me, that would be amazing.
That means
It's
how much I love Miss Universe, how much I adore you.
totally,
Yes.
totally,
Yeah.
totally.
So, we're winding down my last question. So here we go. We're talking for almost an hour already. So I'm sure you must be very tired already.
Don't worry.
For for the for the fans who have been waiting for this answer, and for sure you must have been asked this question over and over again since your crowning moment. Why should you be the next Miss Universe?
I should be the next Miss Universe because I have been a transformational leader ever since I can remember. Like I said, I've transformed all my wounds into action. The Miss Universe organization is looking for someone who is committed to impact her community and who is committed to use her voice to send a message of positivity and inspiration to not just her country, but the whole universe. And I think I'm prepared. I think not. I am prepared to conquer the universe this next 18th of November. And yeah, I'm also prepared to show the universe that all the capacities and abilities that I have is what the universe needs. So
Wow.
that's why.
Great answer. Great answer. Great answer.
Thank
But
you.
can I just share? But it would be more powerful if you could relate your previous experiences with mental health.
Thank you. Yeah.
And use your the and use I know this sounds already cliche, but I don't know. And use my experiences as a mental health advocate, as a force for good in implementing transformative
I love that.
changes.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, if you, I don't know, since I'm already saying it in public, I don't know how much impact it will generate if you will be the one to speak about it
Thank
in
you.
on the Miss Universe stage. Yeah, but if you could incorporate all those experiences that have led to who you are
Totally.
as an incredible human being facing me right now on this live interview, that will be so powerful
Of
for you because it will
course.
really connect you more with the judges and the audience.
Totally. Totally. I think definitely my life story is what gets me to connect genuinely with other people. So definitely that is something that I will be sharing over there.
Mm, I can't wait. I can't wait. When are you arriving? I'm curious to ask, when are you arriving in Puerto Rico? When are you arriving in El Salvador? Do you have the date already?
Yeah, the 3rd of November. I still don't have the time, but I know it will be on the 3rd of November. So
What time? Oh, you don't have the time
yeah,
yet.
I don't have the time. I wish I
Please
had,
DM me the
but
time. Oh, I will just ask Miss Carmencita, because
yeah.
I really wanna go. Like, that's why that's
Please
why I'm
go,
asking.
Adam. Please go. It would be nice to meet you in person. It would be
Yeah,
amazing.
me too, finally. So, before we end, can you like do me one favor? Can you just give your name? Can you shout out your name and country name as an introduction, like how you do it with Miss You?
Oh my God. Let's see, let's see. Okay. Okay. I am Karla GUILFU Acevedo, Puerto Rico.
Woo! Boricua! Puerto Rico, Boricua!
Yes.
So thank you so much, Carla.
Thank you,
I hope
Adam.
I will still be able to interview you once I go there. I'll try my best
Yes.
to seek
Yes.
permission from the Miss Universe organization to get you for an ambush interview during the sidelines of at the sidelines of the pageant. But as early as now, thank you so much. I can see the hype. I can see the hype is real. I can see where all these your fans and supporters are coming from, and I think you really, and I strongly believe you have what it takes to maintain your country's winning streak in Miss Universe, or if not win your country's fifth Miss Universe crown.
Six. Six.
Oh, six, yeah, six. Sorry, six.
The sixth
I'm
crown.
getting
Yes.
all my trivia mixed up already with all these different pageants. Six, yeah. So
Yes.
good luck, Carla, and thank you so much to the entire Miss Universe Puerto Rico organization led by
Thank
Sergio
you.
Benny and Miss Carmencita, and even Estefania. Hi, Estefania, whom I met in LA
Yes.
last May, for
Thank you,
making this interview
everyone,
possible.
for tuning in. Good night, everyone, and good morning to whoever is in the Philippines.
Thank you, and keep this look for Miss Universe. Straight hair looks better.
Thank
Yeah, for
you.
you, in my
I did my own
opinion.
hair and makeup
Oh,
today, so
oh, that's great. That's great. Good practice for you, because you guys will have
yes,
no good team, but come Miss Universe. So you're arriving on November 3. Okay.
yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Carla.
Thank you,
Besos, muchas
Adam.
gracias. Virtual hugs
Gracias.
and kisses all the way from my office here in Manila, Philippines. Mwah.
Yay. Kisses and hugs from Puerto Rico. Good day.
Bye.